Live. Oh, okay, wait. I had to click it too. Oh, now we're live.
So now,
Okay, all
okay,
right.
now we're live. Hello.
Now we're
Oh my
live. Now we're live. Okay, now we're live. Let me double check on the stream URL. Yes, now we're live. Let me see
Hey,
here. I
perfect.
had to click it. Okay, yeah. All right. Hello for the third time now. We are live. Hi, everybody. This is Mario from XPPen here with Abdalla today. Hello, Abdalla.
Hello, Mario. How you doing today?
Doing great, man. Finally live right here with you. So Abdalla, he's coming to us from Canada, Halifax. Is that right?
Yes, yes. Small little city.
Okay, Nova Scotia, Canada. Right on. So we want to know, guys, where are you watching from? Now we have people on the chat. Everybody's saying hi. Can you guys see Abdallah? Can you see his screen right here? He's showing his artwork on the screen. Maria says something. I'm Mario. Close enough. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. So Abdallah, you are an artist. You have an Instagram, a TikTok, a Twitter. Tell us like what's your story with art?
Oh, yes. So the thing with me with art is that I wasn't someone who started drawing when I was a kid. It wasn't something like I was just innately good at. I didn't start drawing until I was 27, so that was only 3 years ago. You know, and
Okay.
um, and what really hit me the most, and what really wanted me to pursue art, is that like art is a learn-based skill that anyone can learn. It doesn't matter about talent. It doesn't matter how you're born that way. All that matters is that you put the time, the energy, and the practice into your skill, and you will become an amazing artist. And for me, like that really hit home for me because like I've always been a creative person. I've always been a hands-on person. So I really I want to see like, hey, can I do this? And like, something that's very passionate for me is like trying to get into the animation industry. And like I asked myself like if I were to get into anime, even if I wasn't able to get into animation industry, even if I wasn't able to make money from my art, why do I want to become an artist? And I kind of took a big look at myself, and I realized that like all I wanted to do was create really amazing art, create stuff from my hands, like just do something that like I could be proud of myself with. So like that was like the big component for me and like how I've been able to continue drawing for like the last 3 years, and like I have loved every minute of it, and it's been like a very it's hard process, but very exciting and very rewarding, especially after these last 3 years.
Okay, that's nice. That's very encouraging because uh, seeing your art, it really looks like you're somebody who's been at it for decades. You
I
know,
appreciate that. Thank you.
it really does look like it strikes me a lot. Okay, yeah, this guy, of course he can do it. He's been drawing since he was 5, you know. So but it's very encouraging the way you say it because it's like, no, you started like less than 5 years ago, and it shows like if you are dedicated, you work hard, and you really love it, you will learn and you will progress really fast. And I think that's your case. And I think like the fact that you improve so much is because you really love it, and because like it doesn't feel like work to you. Probably it feels like something you want to do anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
it's so much fun. It's so rewarding. It's and it's just like anyone. I truly believe that anyone can do it.
That's awesome. Um, so we have am I late? Says some people. So everybody, today we're doing this live stream to celebrate the XPPen's anniversary. We're This is the last 2 days, so today and tomorrow will be the last day of the anniversary, and you can, if you go to the store, for example, there are some good discounts on the tablets and on the pen tablets. And also today we're having a giveaway for our live stream. And all you got to do to enter the giveaway is to be subscribed to our channels, so to our YouTube and our TikTok, and also be subscribed to Abdalla. Abdalla is at Abdalla Sketches. You can see it there on the screen, and I'll write it here for you, at Abdalla Sketches, and he's on all socials. And yeah, just be subscribed. And at the end of the live stream, we'll do that giveaway. And one random person from the audience is going to get the tablet. And the way we'll explain to you guys the way you enter the live stream, but it's pretty easy. Everybody has the same chance. And yeah, it will be fun. So today Abdal is going to be drawing with us. He's going to be explaining his process of how he creates his art, which I think is really cool for him to like agree to, share with us. I think it will be a valuable experience for anybody who wants to learn art, and for anybody who just appreciates art. Maybe you are looking to get started, and this is a great way. So Abdallah, I'm gonna let you take it away, and I'm gonna be probably sending you questions from the audience on the chat, and I kind of want you to like take us through how do you go through some of your creation process, because I see some of your cartoons there on the screen. They look wonderful, and I wonder like what's the story? How do you start with creating a character? Because this looks like characters that they could be like characters in a movie. Like if I'm watching a Pixar movie, I could see that dragon over there, and I'm like, oh, that's the dragon from that movie. Or I feel like they're characters from a Pixar movie or an animated show.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, no problem. I'm very excited, and I hope you guys have like I hope I get a bunch of questions in from you guys. 'Cause I'm very open to answering any questions from beginner artists. So like, don't be shy. Like, just ask away. Like, I'll happily be asked for that. But so for me, when starting, and I really appreciate that comment, like my character's feeling alive, because like that's one thing that's very important for me is storytelling. Like whenever I'm designing a character, I don't like to just have them just standing there still. I want them to doing like an emotion, like being happy or sad or mad, and I'm always trying to convey a story with all of my characters, so you can kind of feel like, oh, like these kind of characters feel like from one show and these kind of characters feel from another show. So what I want to talk about for designing my characters is that how I usually use shapes. Like that's one thing. Like, and first I want a preference for everyone. That's I really want you guys to know that like starting from your art fundamentals is so important. Don't ever leave those behind because you will become a better artist. That's how I've been able to get so better so quickly. Are my art fundamentals, but like yeah, let's start with shapes. So your basic
okay,
shapes could be like a triangle here, a square here, and then we have a circle right here. And so I'm going to design all three of these characters as different types of birds. And like, so like when you're looking at these characters, and usually when I usually start off with a gesture right there. So this is like a gesture line right here, and this usually conveys like your motion or your movement with your characters. It's something you practice in your
and
art
so
fundamentals.
I'm going to design all three of these characters
Wait,
as.
wait,
Okay.
wait. No, it's all good. It's
Sorry,
all good. Um,
sorry.
so I usually use gesture when I'm drawing with all my characters. Every single one of my characters, I always have flow, and it makes your characters feel more alive. Like staying away from just standing poses, trying to give your characters more dynamic, um, a dynamic pose can really bring your character to life. So like, all right, so we're gonna just undo this right here. So for the circle, I'm just gonna so for the circle, and this is gonna take time, and it's not going to come overnight. Like this is you're gonna have to practice this consistently. Like never, don't feel stressed out that you have to draw every single day. What I always tell people is that you should draw consistently. So right here, I'm gonna start, and really cool design choices like you could draw a face like this, and that face is right. There's nothing wrong with this face. Like it looks like a cool face, but like if you want to give your character more character, like you should play with his proportions. So like say if I draw his mouth really big and then I draw in the eyes really low right here. Now does it look perfect? No, but like from this drawing from this you really feel the character in this drawing right here. And when you add more emotion, you can really feel it really feels more like a character. So like keeping or maybe you want to draw the eyes like really high up and then the mouth really low like that. Doing these playing with proportion can really help give your character a more interesting look. So we're just gonna undo all of this. And all right, so first, so like for playing with proportions, so like usually like for me, and there's no wrong or right answer. I don't want you to watch this thinking like, wait, so I can't draw a normal face just looking like that. Like that's just not the case. This is more of like design choices. So what I like to do is always play with proportions. So like I could draw the bird's feathers like kind of right in the middle, but for like a more interesting choice, I like to go a little bit lower. And same thing for the eyes. Like if I want to draw more eyes, I want to draw the eyes instead of drawing the eyes right in the middle right here, which I think a lot of people would do. I want to draw them low, and I want to kind of this doing this can really give your character a lot of more design. So we're gonna go in here like that. And if there's any questions, yeah, you just tell them off to me, Mario, and I'll answer
Yeah,
them.
I have a bunch of questions, so that I'll be reading. Like I don't want to stop your process. So what I'm thinking is like after a while, I can send you some of the questions that I already been gathering from the audience.
Another thing right here is like having your character's eyes kind of point into a different direction the normal instead of just the normal. Like you could have them right here, but I try to avoid that, and I try to always have my character looking in a different direction like this, like that right here. And I'm gonna keep my feathers low, draw in the legs, give a kind of a, and I'm always thinking about emotion, so I can make them angry right here, or more, or I can even give them a
Yes.
smile right here, like that. And another thing that's fun to play with is not always keeping like I could draw some spots on his back, and they can all be the same size like this. And there's nothing wrong with this choice. There's nothing wrong with this choice at all. But one thing I like to do is play with variation. So instead of it all being the same size, I like to have one big spot, like a more medium spot right here, maybe like a little smaller spot right here. See, like doing these type of things gives it more character. You go right here. I'm
Right.
gonna draw on the wings. So this was just a quick bird right here. Maybe even I'm even also playing with my proportions. So like again, that's cool, but maybe have one big one, one small one. So like you can see right here, I'm playing with like big, medium, and small. Like one of my favorite artists is Mitch Louie. He's a really amazing artist, and something like he taught me was these characters. Like if you draw like a let's see, what could I?
I'm gonna be sending you some questions, okay?
Yeah.
So that I'm gonna because okay, so I've been gathering some questions here, and so I send a question. What is it? Okay, so because I think I just got a good one here from Kiri B Shimish. Kirby Shimish. She asks, any tips for a good line art?
Ooh, any tips for a good line art? Yeah. So one thing I do when practicing with my line art, because a lot of people always ask, like, how do you get such smooth lines? Some of it is just a little bit of it is stabilization. You can always find that in Photoshop. But one thing I like to do, and I practice this about a week, so I'm just gonna show you right on the board right here. I'm just gonna go to a different layer right here. So one thing I like to do is just draw lines. So like I'll put a dot here, dot here, dot here, and I'll do this. And with a pencil and a paper, I'll try to connect the dots. So like this. I'll try to go like this, and I'll try to do them really quickly. And like, see that last one's a very straight line. And another trick I like to do is I try to run over those same lines. So I'll just go line here. I'll do it again. And I'm really, right here, you really want to try to focus on staying on that one line. And this is going to take a lot of practice. Like it's not going to happen overnight. But these are just like, even for shapes, like I will, like for circles, I will just do this. Like I'll do quick circle, quick circle, quick circle, quick circle. And this is how I practice my circles, my lines. I'll even put like a perspective point. So when I'm drawing squares and stuff in perspective, I'm always trying to go to that perspective right here. Like I'm always going to that line. Maybe a little rectangle here. Oh. So just doing like these basic shapes, like a lot of people, if you're a huge fan of the Karate Kid, like at the start of the movie, he kind of teaches like, Miyagi teaches like wax on, wax off, and like the character at first is like, what's the point of this? There's no use in doing this. This is boring. But like the thing is like doing these line practices, connecting these dots, like over time, it will make you a better at lines. Like this can really help you. So like just give that a try. Practice your lines, practice circles, practice drawing squares. Just like, and like it's funny that we're talking about squares, circles, because if we go back to our characters, they're just basic shapes, square, a circle, triangle. So it all comes back to basic shapes. But that
Okay.
was a great question.
All right. All right. I think I'll say, because we have a lot of questions like this. I can we can go back to them. I think I would like you to continue with the bird and your characters that you're forming there,
All right.
because like you're explaining your process, and I think that's pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah. So, excuse me. I just got a little bit sick. Nothing serious, but I'm just getting a little bit better from that. So like right here, I'm playing with the feet, and like notice how the square isn't just it's. I have the square a little bit sideways. Like it's not completely straight. So that's one thing I'm always trying to avoid are straight lines. Like I'm always like instead of like the legs going straight down like that, I'm more playing with like it's going more sideways. So like always try to avoid like straight lines, straight arms, characters just standing still. Like it can be very boring. So just be more a little more interesting with your character choices. So for this triangle over here, so we got this before we end the square, we got him like a little angry bird right here. And we got him kind of like dancing around with his feet. And I'm right here. All I'm doing right here is just playing with the shapes. I'm having a little fun. Nothing to be stressed about. Gonna add in some highlights to the eyes right here.
I'm gonna.
And now I'm gonna go to my triangle. And again, you notice, like I said earlier about proportions, instead of keeping his face in the middle, I really pushed his face up higher. Where on this bird, the circle bird, his face is more down lower. And there's nothing wrong. Like we'll put this triangle bird's face right in the middle because there's nothing wrong with it. These are just design choices. Don't feel like this is the right way to draw. These are more just like, like uh just a more way to draw, like so another a thing that really helps me when I'm drawing my characters is that I try to stay away from like parallel lines like this. So like one thing, like you could do a line versus C, line versus S, S versus C. Oop, S versus C. And having these different contrasts in your art can really give like a really, it gives your design more character. So like, and there's nothing wrong with this. Like characters like Rick and Morty, Steven Universe, like they all kind of use parallel lines, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, again, it's just design choices on how you want your characters to look. And for me, I want my characters to look more like Disney characters. And a lot of the Disney characters, when you look at their arms, they have like the straight versus S, like it's not just like straight like that. But again, nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong at all. So I'm going to go back to my triangle character, and we're going to draw on the hair. And you can, as if you could see in its hair, I have a big hair pointing out right here, and then I got a small one. I'm always playing with proportions. And like a really really good example that I could give with proportions oh, excuse me, with proportions is like, you're like, if you say, if I draw a character like this, I draw I draw a robot. Say we draw a robot. I'm gonna draw a robot with his body here. There's here's his legs. So we draw little antennae right here. We're gonna draw his arms coming out right here, and then his feet are right here. Like, this is a cool robot. There's nothing wrong with that robot at all. But if you play with its proportions, so like big, medium, and small. So say, let's make his head really big. Then let's make his body smaller. And then let's make the feet medium. So we got big, small, medium. And this just gives you, like, this has a feeling where you can give your character more character, like, just like I've been saying this whole stream. So like now I'm gonna draw on the eyes, and I'm gonna play with proportions. Like, I'm not gonna do, with this character I kept the face in the middle, but this time I'm gonna draw the face low like that. I'm gonna draw the antennas, one really big, and I'm gonna draw one really small. For the feet, I'm gonna do the same thing. Draw on the feet. I'm gonna play with little patterns, and I'm not going to keep all the patterns the same size. I'm going to change up the sizing. And if you look at this, let's see. Let me change the color right here. So when you look at this character over this character, this guy, like this character right here, it just feels like, he feels like a character you would see in like a TV show. Like he looks really really cool, and like, and this character looks very simple. But there's nothing wrong with these. These are both right. It's just, what do you want to pick for your style? So, and that's really on you and how you want to draw. So I'm just gonna erase these really quickly. All right. So we're gonna go back to black. All right. Here we go. All right. So now I'm gonna draw in the eyes. And this time I'm going to keep the character right in the middle. Like, I'm not going to play with the proportions too much with this. I'm going to clear up this right here. And for where it's going to look, I'm not going to have my character just looking in one direction, so we're just going to have him looking right in the middle. I'm going to give him a really big mouth. Let's color her. Draw in some eyebrows right here. And usually I would draw on top of my shapes right here. So instead of, let's see here. Oh, excuse me. So instead of just keeping it like just a complete triangle, I'm going to go in and make her feel more, give her feathers. But you can still notice that it's still a triangle at heart. Like, even though it doesn't look directly like a square or a circle here, you could still feel her being a triangle. So I'm gonna avoid straight lines. There we go. I'm gonna avoid straight lines, have a kind of crooked here, kind of have her walking like that. See, see how you can kind of feel the character. Kind of give her little eyebrows right here. Color that in like this. So you can
I like the feathers on this one.
sorry, what was that, Mara?
I like the feathers on this one. It feels like it has like it's got feathers around the bottom.
Thank you. Like
Yeah,
and like usually when I'm drawing these characters, I have much more time. I'm able to create more iterations. I really recommend like don't just you may love your first drawing, but hey, set your first drawing aside. Try to draw different iterations of this character because you never know. There may be another character that looks like that has a completely different look. Like like you may like the third or the fourth or the fifth character even better, so I would say not to settle so quickly on your first design. Just keep your first design, and then at the end of the day, you can look at everything and be like, all right, what's my best design? So right here we have, and again, like this character right here that I drew with the square, it doesn't need to be completely looking like a complete square. Like we can kind of play around with them a bit. All right, so like let's curve this a bit. Like that. So for here, let's just create, excuse me. So I'm going to create a new layer right here, layer 3. And I'm going to color. And like one thing I think is really important is color theory. So like that's going back to what I was talking about with your art fundamentals. Like your art fundamentals are so important, and they can really bring your characters to life. So right here, some complementary colors are green and yellow because they are very close on the color wheel. Right here, like purples and blues can go together. Very popular colors during Christmas are red and green. And if you look at complementary colors, I believe it is, they are opposite from each other. And that's why when you look at a lot of Christmas colors, they're red and green. Um, and colors can tell like a mood of a character. Blue and orange can kind of be more like a peaceful. So like let's so first I'm going to start off with this green. Make sure I'm on the correct layer. All right.
that was actually one of the questions from Larissa Lobo. She asked like how to pick colors, and I think what you were saying, like to me, is fascinating because I never heard something like that. The fact that like if the colors are together, you say that they combine well together.
Yes. Like I like color theory is like a whole nother thing, and like that would actually take me a little bit longer. But
Right.
go I would tell everyone that's listening to this live stream, um go search up the color wheel and go look at what triadic, what complementary, um there are very different variations, and when you look at them, just play with the colors. Like you'll notice that like complementary are colors that are opposite from each other. You know, I want to say it's like there's a color scheme. I can't think of the name right now, but it's basically like using the same color. So like using like a bright red, a dark red, a gray red, like using variations of the same color is also part of the color wheel. So right here, I'm gonna fill in this green bird
Exciting.
Sorry.
right here. Because he's an angry character, I kind of want to give him green, kind of like the Incredible Hulk. And this is kind of giving the character kind of looking like kind of envious. And then I'm going to go in with a yellow. And like this is one thing that like it's kind of funny like I'm trying to explain it but like I think I'm just so used to um color matching and using color theory that like it's so ingrained in with me that I know what colors match, but a part of me is like, is that the right word? Like so like I really implore everyone to look up color theory because it's a
Right.
very important when it comes to these characters.
Nice. Okay. Um, all right. So you want to hear some questions from the audience?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So Jeremy Figure. Well, okay. So this one struck me as something like I would like to address first.
Okay.
Mizumi asks, sometimes I become insecure about others being better than me. Should I avoid them and their arts and focus on myself, or and let myself be open? How to overcome this?
I think you should embrace them. You know, at the end, no matter how better you get become at art, like if you practice right hard, really right now, you practice for the next couple of years, you get better. There's always going to be someone who's better than you. There's always going to be someone who's lower level than you. And the I
Right.
think what we should do as artists is embrace it all. Like you shouldn't feel like of course you're gonna feel a little jealous. You're gonna feel like I wish that like I have those feelings. I look up to a bunch of amazing artists. One of my favorite artists is Aaron Blaze. You know, and like his art is amazing, and like I can only wish to have that skill. But he's been drawing for over 20 years and I only started drawing 3 years. So you have to keep telling yourself that. When you find artists who are better than you need to ask yourself, when did they start drawing? And like, and if you're comparing yourself to an artist who's been drawing for 15 to 20 years, that's not fair to yourself. Like you're not being
Mm.
fair to yourself. You're not being true to yourself. Like you need to understand. So like what you should do is find those artists who are better than you. Find and try to figure out if they're teaching a class. Like one thing we do in art are called master studies. And my art teacher Mitch Louie, something he told me that really stuck with me. He said he steal like a pro, and what he means by that is like you should copy other artists, try to understand their design choices. Now, when copying other artists, this is something you do in private. You do not post other artists' work and claim it as your own. But what you're doing is studying their techniques and how they draw. So when you look at different artists that you love, like different artists that you love, you wanna then take the design choices. Like, how did this artist design the eyes? How does this artist how does this artist draw the nose, draw the body shape? So like you should take those design choices. So instead of getting jealous, instead of getting angry, instead of avoiding them, try to learn from them. Try to like add that into your characters. Like I think that's very important as an artist is like learning that way because like like have fun and like don't stress out about it. Like don't worry about it and you will get better. Just practice consistently. You don't need to draw every
I
day, but practice consistently.
Yeah, I perhaps would add to that, and I would say like um, if you have somebody that you really like, you should, which is the same thing you said, right? You should imitate them, because by imitating them, you will learn and you will kind of piece together their combinations and your own combinations, and nothing's really original. And at the end of the day, it's like everything's like you learn from here and there.
Exactly.
So I don't think you should avoid. Yeah, you shouldn't avoid them at all. I think, if anything, you should reach out to them and say like, "Hey, I admire your art," and or like if you do something trying to copy them, you should like, "This is my tribute to this artist, and I'm trying to learn their ways. I really admire them." Like acknowledge them openly, and yeah, and and in that way you can build yourself.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay, so another question, another question for you, my friend. How do you capture or develop a drawing style and make a unique feature of your drawing to be identified by your audience? I,
Yes.
that's a good one.
So
This is
this is a
from
question a
Unique.
lot of artists always ask. They always ask how to find your style, and
Mm,
it's a mixture of two things. One is your art fundamentals.
right.
You really need like to build a house without any foundation. Your house is just gonna fall. It's gonna crash, and people are gonna get hurt. So you really need to focus on gesture. You need to focus on shape. You need to focus on form, color theory, design choices with characters I'm talking about right now. It's a mixture of all those. So once you understand how to draw, then you're able to deconstruct uh, characters and drawings. So once you have a strong understanding of your art fundamentals, you'll then want to borrow from other artists. You want to find some of your favorite Disney artists, some of your favorite artists that work at League of Legends, or some of your favorite Pixar movies. Like, go seek out those people who draw these characters that you love. Go find them. So like once you have your art fundamentals, you'll understand the design, because like people feel like art you just draw at random, which is just not the case. Once you understand how to draw, you're then going to take that and you're going to look at pro artists, and you're going to see how they draw and what choices they make, because you're using your knowledge from your art fundamentals, and you're able to like, oh, okay, they're making these choices with their art. And this is where it comes in, where my mentor always, my teacher would always say is steal like a pro. Steal, like, look at the different design choices, like how they draw the lips. Put those all of these different characters. Like, one of the design choices that I really love to do with my art are really bold, thick outlines. Like, I really like having line art that's thick with my characters. If you're looking at some of my characters in the slideshow, you'll see that I really love to use thick outlines. Sometimes I don't like to use thick outlines. Sometimes I just like to use normal characters. So like, like, um I would say focus on that. Focus on your art fundamentals. Focus on practicing from better artists, and your art style will come eventually. But right now, don't worry about your art style. My art style didn't show until at least 2 years in, and I still feel like
I
my art
still
choice.
feel
Sorry, what was that?
okay. Uh, no, I pressed the button.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I have a question from Himanshu Kumar,
Okay.
and he asks, when you make any horror drawings, what's your focus on eye or teeth?
When I make for horror John. Ooh, this is
So I
funny
guess he means
because
like, yeah, go.
this is a funny question because I don't draw a lot of horror actually. It's something
Okay.
I don't focus on. I really like to draw like cute characters, or sometimes anime characters, cartoons. But one thing I
Mm.
don't focus on are horror characters. But if I wanted to focus on horror characters, what I would do is find like the concept artists to like horror movies. Like I would look these characters up and I would try to see like what are they working on their art style? What are they doing with their art to make it more scary? Um, for me, like if I was drawing like a horror character, let's do a really quick horror character. Let's see.
I guess Human Shu is kind of asking because Halloween is coming up.
Ah, Halloween, yes. And I have
Yeah.
Halloween. Oh yeah, yeah. I have some drawings for Halloween actually. And let's see here. I actually wanna I'm gonna put this away. I'm gonna switch to my Instagram really quick. So here's
Okay.
some of these characters I did for Halloween. I did this rabbit character. I had a little pumpkin right here.
Wait,
And
it's showing though. It's not. It's not show. Is it showing? Oh yeah, it's showing. It's
it's
showing.
showing?
Sorry.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So this bunny rabbit I did for Halloween. Um, I like to use big eyes. Like I have the eyes looking in different directions. Like this was a really fun
Nice.
character, and like I really want to give his like really big teeth to kind of freak people out. Like so like again I'm playing with proportions right here. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Another Halloween character is this dragon. This dragon Frankenstein dragon right here. I had a lot of fun. Like, and you look at the patterns in um his skin. You can notice like what I've been talking about earlier: big, medium, and small. Not all of the patches on his skin are all the same size. Like I always try to keep variation with my character. I drew this bat character right here, small tooth, big tooth right here. I used a gesture to show his lines. Right here, this is like a really big skull, a smaller skull. And like another thing I like to do with my art is like I like to do simple versus complex. So on this side of the pumpkin side, it's very simple. Like I his wings are stuck in there, his ears very simple. And then on the other side, it's complex. So like his wings out, he's holding this right here. He's perching his ear out. Excuse me. Even with his ears, and like his ears look like kind of like bitten off. I use the big, medium, small. Like I'm always playing with proportions with my characters. The eyes are all the way up here. The mouth is all the way down here. So like I'm always like this character right here. Same thing. I'm playing with proportions with the big eye right here, smaller eye right here. I put a little tooth. Like, look at the squares: big square, medium square, small square. Like, these are like things I really like to add into my art. So, like, I don't do a lot of Halloween stuff, but those were like a little bit of Halloweens. If you watch my Instagram this Halloween, I'm definitely going to be doing more Halloween characters. So, like, stay tuned for that. Like I want to show you guys a couple more examples. Like same thing with this character right here. On this side, it's very simple. But on the other side, it's complex. So like you don't want like and again, like if you want to make both sides complex, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no wrong or right answer, but for like my design choices, I like to have like a very simple side and then a more complex side. His arms up, he's waving. I'm trying to avoid straight lines, so this kind of goes this way. Nothing is truly straight. I'm always trying to make sure, his body even kind of swirls over. So like yeah, like just have fun. Go study from your favorite Halloween artist and you'll be able to get it for sure. All right, let's get back to the drawing.
All right. Nice. So I have okay a bunch of questions here. Jeremy Figueroa Reyes. They ask, do you ever struggle with perspective?
Do I ever? Oh yes, when I first started with perspective, it was very difficult for me and it was very scary. Um, but I would first tell you to start with just 1 point perspective. Don't do 2 point. It might be a little bit too messy, like and a little bit harder. So like I'm gonna show you a little example. All right, we're just gonna hide these layers. Put it around here. So what I do when I'm practicing one part perspective, I'll kind of put in the dot right here, and I'll have everything trying to connect to this little dot right here. So I'm going to have all these lines going towards that dot. There's a square. Let's do a bigger one. All towards the dot right here. When I'm drawing a cylinder right here. And like this is a very it seems very simple, but like I'm telling you how important it is, how important doing this is. So like once you get the hang of drawing your characters like this, I'm going to kind of go in like this, draw inside the shape. Like that. And I'd really advise you to just practice these little, they can be fun. Like I sometimes put some music on and I'll do this for about, I don't know, like 20-30 minutes just to warm up, just to see right here, just to see how much better I've gotten. And it's all, see all my lines are going towards this dot. So the 1 point perspective. Like this. Like that. So like just give that a try. Look up videos on YouTube. YouTube will be your best friend, I promise. And start simple. Start very simple. Start with basic shapes and then slowly work yourself up. So like I'm going to take this square right here and I'm going to add
I can tell.
big ears to them. Big old mouse ears. I'm going to draw like a little tail. I'm going to keep the proportions low with the eyes. And look at that, we got a little mouse. And the mouse is all done in 1 point perspective.
Nice.
Just gonna erase some of that because you don't want it to look completely like a square. And then kind of draw in the fur. Draw the nose right down here. And now we have like a little mouse that is drawn in perspective. So I'd really, I really want you to try this and try drawing your characters in this perspective. And look at that, cute little guy right here.
Nice.
But yeah, just give that a try, and it will happen over time.
Okay. All right, let me send you another question here. Marisa Chan says, what do you draw subconsciously when you're bored or something? Her English is not that good. Can you can you show some shapes combination to do a full body caricature? I think that one's interesting. Nate Drocast asks, can you show some shapes combinations to do a full body caricature?
Yes, I can, definitely. So we're just gonna create some new layers. Oh, just close this.
And by the way, can you like bring up the volume of the music a little bit, maybe up to -30? I think that would, yeah, I want to see if we can hear it. So, yeah, I think that should do it.
All right.
We're testing now. We're testing. Oh, maybe. Oh, here you go. On the media source, right click it. And yeah.
Let's go back to this. Okay, so on the medium source, right click.
On the left side. On the sources, media source.
Okay.
So where the music track is, the media source, the top thing at the sources.
Oh, right here. Okay.
Yeah. So there we want to loop that. So we want to, double click it. I think maybe double click it. Yeah, and make sure it says loop, and click on loop.
All
Yeah,
right.
loop. Perfect. And there you go. There you go.
All
Awesome.
right. Cool.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
So we're just gonna create some new layers. And what? Sorry. The question was
So the
designing.
question, yes, the question is, can you do some combinations of shapes to create a full body character?
Yes, I can. So I'm just gonna draw like a little kid character right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use what I was saying earlier. I'm gonna put in a square. I'm gonna use squares for this. I'm gonna
Okay.
draw. So the head's gonna be big. The body's gonna be small. And the legs are going to be medium. So when I do this, let's see here, the opacity. Let's lower right here. Alright, so it's perfect. I'm going to create a new layer. Right here, okay. Alright, so I have different shapes that I'm building upon right here. So I'm going to draw in this character's face, and I'm just going to use the shapes I have as an outline right now. So I'm going to draw in here. I think I'm going to keep the character's glasses really big. I'm going to keep everything big up here. Like this.
Nice.
Erase this right here. We're drawing some eyes. We're having them looking over. I never like to draw my characters just looking straight. They're always going to be looking in a certain direction. I'm drawing some hair for this character. Like this. Drawing a little button nose. And we're gonna draw this little mouth right here. So we got a really big head. So we're gonna put in his body. We're gonna have him sticking out one arm here. And I'm gonna keep close to that shape right here. And we're drawing right here. Let's get rid of that. We're having arms coming out, and I'm always trying to avoid drawing straight. Like this. Long legs. Maybe have his legs like that. Kind of dancing, maybe? Let's see.
That's cool. That was actually one of the other questions I think somebody asked. Uh, okay. Do you capture?
This. And these are very quick. Normally I would draw hands and everything, but I just want to make sure getting everything because I don't want to run out of time. So I want to show you guys.
Yeah.
So
Dude, that looks fantastic. That looks pretty cool.
let's see that.
I wanted to ask, what is the best one? Oh, and that's it.
Any more questions?
Yeah, I was because like I was looking for one that I saw earlier because I've been copying and pasting them. And one was asking about how do you give your characters like more motion, and how do you get them into action, sort of, they were asking. So some tips to make the artist look let the art look like they're moving, and things like that.
Yes, definitely I can do that. Just let me finish this character real quick. And like you can already see this character already kind of has like a little bit of motion already. I'm just gonna draw this. And the hair, let it go. I'm just gonna go green.
Maybe we have now. We got 38. Okay.
All right, so okay, there we go. Just had a little problem there, but I fixed it.
Another question: what's your favorite part of creating art?
One of my favorite things about art is just creating characters from life. Like it's just really cool to you're able to create whatever's in your head, and it's kind of funny because like once you know your art fundamentals and you have a strong understanding of that, you're able to draw from imagination, like draw characters from your head. So like I just really love drawing characters. Like it's just really fun for me. Like the question was, sorry, what was the question? It was like
What's your favorite part of
my favorite part. My
Yeah.
favorite part, I would say, is designing the character at first. Because like once I design the character, I then have to ink and color, and sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I would say designing the character initially is some of the funnest parts of designing a character.
Right. Okay, cool. Another person was asking, what do you think? So who was asking it? Shiroi Tsuki was asking, how do you think it's best to get an audience for your drawings?
How do you get an audience? So like for me, and you know what, you don't have to be the best artist to do that. When I started TikTok, I was making TikToks when I first started drawing. Now, if you were to go back and find those videos, you may not find them because I think I privated a bunch of them. But at first I was just drawing like excuse me. At first I was just drawing like all of the characters I was learning how to draw. Like there wasn't no rhyme or reason to it. And I wasn't like pressuring myself on trying to draw like really good characters. Like I was just trying to draw what I really like. So what I would say is go on TikTok, go on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and just have fun. Like go design these characters. Don't feel too stressed out about it. Create content that you like. Create content that like some of like the golden rule, like some things that like can help build an audience, or like teaching for yourself, or being motivational for other people, or so it's like educational, motivation, and yeah, educational, motivation, and there's one more though, which is I am forgetting. But
Mhm.
I would say always trying to bring value to your characters is something I think is something that's really important.
All right.
And don't and just before I just want to say one more thing to that. I would also say when trying to build, just have fun. And you know what? People want to watch your journey. So if you're not a good artist, just show them like, hey, I'm a beginner artist trying to learn. People want to watch your journey. You know, a lot of people who've been following me uh, um, are watching my journey unfold. They're watching, seeing how I get better. Like some of the people who started originally from day one are just like, oh my goodness, you have gotten so much better over time. So I would say like, don't just go have fun, go create content, go watch other YouTubers or TikTokers, watch their videos and try to learn what they're doing, what's successful, what works for them. Try it with yourself, and you just trial and error. And as long as you keep going and you don't give up, you will garner an audience.
Right. Okay. We're gonna do one more question, and then we're gonna jump into the giveaway.
All right.
I've been collecting people's usernames here, guys. If you want to enter the giveaway, put your name with the handle like everybody's doing right there on the YouTube comments, just like that username. Uh, I will need to identify you. So for to identify you guys, you make sure you click on the subscribe button of the YouTube channel, so I can see on the YouTube channel if you're subscribed or not, and then I can reach out to you if you're the winner. Also, if people are putting their Instagram or their TikTok right there with their at and their username. Uh,
Excuse me.
Make sure you don't misspell it, please. You want to spell it right. You can set it once or twice, three times. It doesn't matter. We're gonna remove the duplicates, so everyone's gonna get the same chance. And if I miss one or two names, I'm sorry for that. I'm not perfect, but I copy all the names to a spreadsheet basically, and then from that I remove the duplicates, so everybody gets a fair chance. We're gonna put those names into a spin the wheel, and we're gonna choose one winner, but we're gonna choose two winners just in case we cannot identify the first winner, or the first winner is from a country we cannot logistically send uh, the tablet to. And I think one of the last questions that I saw was really good was from Mizumi, and she was asking. Um, I wrote it down here again.
Excuse me.
Um, oh, she retracted her message, but where was it? Mizumi had a really good question that I want to get into. Okay, so how do you draw background? So, like, if you can go to your Instagram and show the backgrounds that you do for your cartoons, because I think the backgrounds that you do, um, they look really cool because they make the characters stand out really well.
Yeah, yeah. Do I draw backgrounds?
I mean, you just do some color on the background, and so you don't draw background, but I would call that background because it's like I don't know. So her
So
question is how do you draw background? I'm not sure if she's referring to like um, but I do see some background in your drawings, just like the color and stuff makes it pop out.
yeah, so first I would say study from professional background artists. Go follow them online. They're really amazing. You know, backgrounds are something that I started to practice more on. You know, when I'm drawing like a character, like this frog character right here, I have like a light source. You know, gray. Like when I'm coloring, I always use the background gray. and like it can really help you pick out your colors. It lets your colors show more. And right here you can kind of see like the light source kind of shining right through. So like backgrounds are not my specialty, so I don't want to like give you like solid advice on that. So I would really ask you to look up background artists. You know, like and I think it's important to learn backgrounds. I for my journey, I really wanted to hyper focus on my characters. But one thing I learned from Aaron Blaze, and I used to do this a lot with like my older art with backgrounds. Like this is a very simple one, like underwater. You can see, I could draw like bubbles floating around. But I would actually find like realistic backgrounds. Like this was something I really like to do. Like I would find like realistic backgrounds. I would blur them, and I would put. And I really like the idea of like realistic mixed in with like a cartoon character. So like they're like this art's so old. Oh my goodness, this is 2 years old. Very simple background, nothing too crazy. I did this for Halloween. Right here again, I was finding like realistic backgrounds, putting them in the back. So like, you know, backgrounds are not my strong suit, but this is a really fun thing to do as an artist. Is just finding like this one is like a bird with trees in the background. I blurred it out, and then I was drawing like cartoon
Nice.
right there. And you
In
can,
that case, in the forest one, for example, um,
yeah.
like no, the one from before that had like a moon and stuff. Do you draw the background at the end after you design the character, or how do you go about it?
Um, I would say to start with the background. You could start with
Okay.
the background, and then you can place the character in there. But for this
All right.
drawing right here, I started with the character. I don't think there's a I don't want to say there's a right or wrong answer because I'm not
Mm.
a background artist, but I would say to look that information up. Like this character right here, this cat, I drew the background after I finished the character.
Right. 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 Okay. That's wonderful. I think that's a thank you for your question, by the way. I think that was a interesting. Some people have a really interesting question. One thing that I want to do is copy all these questions and send it to you by email. Just like because I think, and by the way, guys, like you should go to Abdalla Sketches on TikTok and Instagram because you're sharing a lot of art tips, right? On TikTok especially.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so like I think if you guys are starting out and stuff, you got some really good tips, and you're a big fan of like promoting how to get started and how to go about the art process. And I think a lot of people would appreciate your content. So guys, make sure you follow Abdalla Sketches in TikTok. And thank you everybody for your questions, guys. It's been a great stream. I think we're gonna close soon. We're gonna do the giveaway, and I don't know, Abdallah, if you have a message for them or something
Yeah,
for
definitely.
now.
So
Right.
I would like to say to all my beginner artists, people who are thinking about getting into art, you know, it's one thing to practice, it's one thing to say you're going to do it, but what I think is really important is believing in yourself and believing that if I practice for the next couple years, and it's not going to be the first year, it's not going to be second year. Like they say, to master art takes 5 to 10 years, and that's a really big commitment. But if you could sit down and look yourself in the mirror and be like, I want to draw. I want to draw Disney characters, Pixar characters. I want to draw characters from excuse me, the Owl House, Steven Universe, my favorite cartoon characters, Teen Titans, any type of characters. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, if I practice for the next 5 to 10 years, I will become an amazing artist. But am I willing to wait for that time? Like, am I willing to do all of that time? Because 5 years of drawing is going to take a long time. And you're not going, with art, you're not going to see the results right away. It's going to take, if you're just starting off with art, it's going to take at least a year to kind of see a little bit of progress. Your second year, you're really going to start to see more progress. And then my third year, I feel like I've made so much stride. So it's like, it's all an end goal in believing in yourself that if I practice for the next couple of years, I will become a better artist. But you need to believe in yourself. I believe in you guys. I truly, truly believe in you guys. I truly believe that anyone can become an amazing artist. You can do it. You just need to believe like you can do it. And if you can envision yourself, if you can say, I can wait a couple years, that's no problem. Enjoy the process. Enjoy learning. Enjoy studying from professional artists. Enjoy learning new things. Enjoy making mistakes. You're going to fail a lot. It's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna get frustrated. You're gonna get frustrated that other artists are better than you. But what you want to do is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and tell yourself it doesn't matter, because in these next couple of years, these next 5 to 10 years, you will become an amazing artist. Period. Point blank. There's no discussion in it. But you need to see, can you do it for the next couple of years? Can you commit? And that's going to be your biggest hurdle, because a lot of people have a hard time committing. A lot of people will draw for the next couple of months and they will just quit. They'll just like, this is too hard. I can't get into this. Like, I'm struggling. So you really need to commit. You really need to believe in yourself. Practice consistently. You don't need to draw every day. Practice consistently. Try to have a schedule worked out, and you will become an amazing artist. I believe in all of you guys right here. I believe you guys can do it. Believe in yourself, because I believe in you. But the question is, do you believe in yourself?
Right. Wonderful message, man. Wonderful message. And all right. So, guys, we're going to go to the Wheel of Fortune. Thank you so much, Abdalla, for being with us today, for showing your art, for sharing with us your process, and for sharing your motivation, inspiring other people who want to do the same as you. And I'm right with you there with the message of, it's just a matter of time. If this is what you really want to do, put in the time, put in your belief, and slowly but surely you'll see some progress and you'll get to where you want to go.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mario. It's been a lot of fun doing this.
Dude, my pleasure. So I sent you there on a message on the Google Stream, on the Google Meet.
All right.
So that's the name of the Wheel of Name. Guys, before we click the spin the wheel, I just want to say, so there are some conditions for the giveaway. So the first condition is you guys have to be on the stream, and you got to be following us and be subscribed to our channel. And also, unfortunately, there are some countries where we cannot reach. So some of the countries, I think it's Venezuela, Cuba, and there's might be a few more. If you're watching from those countries, we might not be able to deliver it to you. And that's why we will pick a second and third winner, just in case, But the first name that comes out, I'll look up that person on Instagram. Hopefully you guys wrote your name right. That was the other condition. If you don't spell your name right, I'm sorry, but we cannot help you. Your username right. So we will contact you on Instagram or TikTok, whatever you left there, and we'll discuss with you. You'll give us your information of how to reach you out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's give a little countdown and then spin that wheel.
I'm so excited.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Spin that wheel.
Oh my goodness, you guys! Oh my goodness!
All right, let's see.
Oh.
KO091. KO091. Let me try to get that person here. KO, are you in the chat? Let's see if KO0.91. What a username. Okay, let's see if they're in the chat. And let's see if this is your Instagram. Your Instagram, I didn't find anything. And your TikTok, let's see. All right. And just in case, okay, let me screen capture that. Lessons, okay. And just in case, let's spin that wheel 2 more times.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
There we go. I like the praying croc. I don't know if you gave it a name,
Great.
but
I love that you use this guy right here.
Vianney Leon Lara. Vianney Leon Lara. Okay. So I'm gonna put here the first name. This was it. KO0.91. Okay.
Yay, she's in the chat.
He's in the chat.
Yes.
Where is Vianney? Vianney Leon Lara is here. Okay. So, because the first name I cannot find it yet. So if we cannot identify the first name, it's going to be on Lara. All right, be on Lara. I want to make sure she's watching from somewhere we can deliver to. All right, so we have our winner. Okay, and guys, we'll get in touch with you again if the first person doesn't reply or we cannot get in touch with them. The winner will be Vion Lara. She's right there on the stream, and we can see her. So that's what we want. One more time, thank you, Abdalla, for being here with us. We're concluding, guys. We are concluding also our XPPen 17th anniversary. We still have some deals on the store. If you go storexppen.com, just one word, storexpppen.com, you'll see we have some deals finishing up today and tomorrow. And Abdalla, continue doing your art, man. I hope you continue sharing your art on your social media, and best of luck for you. And I hope you can do one of these again in the future.
Yeah, and I'm seeing someone in the chat saying Carlos saying that's they are the KO person. So like
oh, okay, I can see Carlos Miranda. Okay, we'll get in touch with you, Carlos. All right. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out.
But yeah, it's been so much fun. Like, it's been so great. It's such an amazing opportunity to speak with you guys, have this fun, talk about art, and like give away some really, really cool prizes. I've been using my XP pen for drawing for over 2 years. I'm going on 3 years. It's an amazing, amazing product. I highly recommend, and like, thank you so much, you guys.
All right, everybody. Goodbye. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.